Okay, not to like fearmonger or anything, but as of recently, I've had 3 dreams in total already that were very like apocalyptic, and I don't usually have dreams like that. Like my dreams are usually of me flying in trees and walking at night by the bayou. So the fact that I've had 3 apocalyptic dreams, kind of suspicious, kind of scary, and honestly, the dreams were like very terrifying. So I'm just gonna share them with y'all and see what y'all think. So the scariest of them all was me. It was like a scene of me hiding under my bed with my fiance and a neighbor, and we could look out the window. And as we look out the window, we see these like, it literally looks like missiles or something glowing orange falling out of the sky, but like a bunch of them like pew pew like out of the sky, and they're like falling pretty close vicinity to us. And honestly, it's a short dream, and it's literally just like in third person. I can see me hiding under the bed with my fiance, our cats, and a neighbor, and these things are falling out of the sky. I can see them, and then my neighbor just goes, "Do you think it's gonna hurt?" And then I go, "I hope not." And then it just blinks out like, it must have hit us. I must have died. And then I woke up. And then my other dream was that my family and I were eating like at a restaurant. It was like a Mediterranean restaurant. And as they're bringing out the food, people start scattering. Like it empties out. The employees start packing up and leaving, like mid bringing us our food. And we're like, what's going on? And they're like, you have to go take the food. And they just give us like the food like quickly and like these to-go thingies. And they're like, get out. And so we get out, we go home. And as we do, we see like chaos, like people just going crazy, breaking things, breaking into houses. Like I don't know if it was just like a lot of poverty and people were just like fighting for food or something and killing each other or what was going on. But we hid in our house, locked the doors, closed the windows, and we had to like hide the fact that we had food and water. Like we couldn't let people know we had resources. And it was so bad because we already had like these like blankets covering all of our windows and like glass door and stuff. Like we were blocking it from the view of everyone. And like I could see my mom's neighbor, I could see my mom's house. I could see everyone running in the street, just like chaos, breaking into people's houses. And so that was the second dream that I had. And then the third dream, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, the third dream was pretty much the same thing, like things falling out of the sky. And I remember I was like on this like little raft and I was trying to just stay alive while seeing things fall out of the sky, like and hit land. But I was in a raft in some water, and I remember it was very cold, and it was very apocalyptic feeling. And then in the dream, I woke up, like I was still in the dream, but I woke up in the dream, like a dream within a dream. And when I woke up, I was like in my childhood bedroom, and it was all pink, and I like looked down at my blanket, and I could see my little feet peeking out, but it was like my feet from when I was 8 years old, and I was little. And somehow in my mind, I knew I was back in 2009, like what my room looked like back in 2009, the size I was, like it was 8-year-old me. And I just remember within that dream thinking like, oh God, like thank goodness I was just a dream, like that was scary, the world ending. And I actually woke up and it was adult me, and I was like, that was weird. But all 3 dreams are very out of the norm for me. Like I said, majority of my dreams, I'm flying above pretty fields with beautiful pink cotton candy skies. I always fly, like majority of my dreams I'm flying, except for these 3 dreams that were like terrifying. And yeah, like just really weird.
Let's just be honest. Where y'all think this is going? Y'all think we going back to America as we knew it? It's just gonna be business as usual? What you think gonna happen from this point on? It's not even 6 months, and there's 700 Marines in Los Angeles. The Marines wasn't in Los Angeles during the LA riots. Where do you think this is going? You was told, you was warned. Some of you knew that this was coming. What do y'all think what do you think you gonna do? You think you about to protest your way out of this? The court's gonna stop it? Democracy has fallen. If you still thinking about you gonna vote your way out, and we gotta go to these primaries. Look, at this point, some of y'all are just putting people's lives in danger. You're just putting people's lives in danger. Who you think gonna save you? Cory Booker? Jasmine Crockett? The Democrats? The good Republicans? Nah, it's up to the American people at this point. You're either gonna fight or you're gonna perish. That's where it's at. And when they get done with immigration, they gotta find somebody else to demonize. And guess who that is? Black America. And guess how they gonna do it? With the Patriot Front. With the Proud Boys. They're gonna force our hands. They're gonna force us to get into it. They're not gonna leave us no choice. It's coming. People been telling y'all this for years. You listen to your favorite influencer who get on here and sound so profound. They're not telling you the truth though. Democracy has fallen. Ain't no more going to no primaries. Ain't no praying out of this. Ain't no protesting out of this. We either gonna fight or you gonna perish. Or you gonna fight and perish. You might as well love up on your family, stop worrying, enjoy your life, get strapped, and get ready. Those are the only options. Ain't no other options. Anything else is delusional. Anything else is delusional. That's just the truth.
Just got way darker, and you're going to want to hear this news. Billionaire hedge fund legend Paul Tudor Jones just went public saying AI isn't some far-off threat. It's an imminent danger in our lifetimes, not in 50 years, but right now. He sat in a room with some of the top tech leaders on Earth, and when they were asked, what are you doing about AI security? They all admitted nothing. Why? Because the competition's too fierce. Russia, China, the US, everyone's locked in an AI arms race that no one's willing to slow down. Here's where it turns straight up chilling. Paul says he's buying 100 acres in the Midwest, stocking up on cattle, chickens, provisions, because he's prepping for a collapse-level event. And get this, he even said it might take an accident that kills 50 to 100 million people before the world wakes up to how dangerous AI really is. And the craziest part, no one on that tech panel pushed back. People building this tech aren't planning your escape, they're planning their own.
Why do people want to enter in America in the first place? Well, for like literally hundreds of years since the creation of America, they've been meddling in other people's politics outside of their borders. They've been the foreign interference that has created darkness and fucking despair. And then they come in like the saviors with the UN and pretend to save people and offer them safe haven in other homes, in other countries, to get them out of where they live so they can have what they have there. America gives them a false sense of hope, sends them here. And these people don't realize that America has spent the last 100 years villainizing all of them to the citizens that live here. These people think they're welcome here and they're in for a rude awakening when they get here. And understand, actually, it's a hate-filled society here. Borders for so long create such demise and be untouchable for it. They're about to meet their karma because of it. They're throwing... The USA is begging for trouble on their soil. The USA is begging for trouble on their soil. Because Africa's taking their power back. The USA needs to extract their minerals from somewhere, no better than their own back fucking yard. So they're going to violate all the treaties. They're going to violate all the people's rights. They're going to push them out of their rural homes and put them in 15-minute cities and then suck the fucking land dry. America is the true terrorist on the planet. They vetoed today a plan to bring peace to the Middle East. They're the only ones that fucking vetoed it. Why do they have that kind of power? Because the Zionist regime infiltrated America 80 years ago and they gave safe haven to the bad guys. Longer ago than this, I'm sure. And they've made policy changes and law changes to enable themselves to break the law so easily. And then you all will eat it up. Blame the immigrants for the shit that your fucking government causes. There's a million reasons why people come to America. And you know, the consequences for America running amok outside of its own borders, they're about to meet those consequences and they couldn't be more deserving.
Will be the soldiers of World War III. I'm talking to everyone in a NATO country between the ages of 18 and 26 years old. Listen closely. Share this with everyone because this isn't hypothetical anymore. NATO is mobilizing. The U.S. is deploying assets in Europe, working the most comprehensive defense posture draft. And this time, they're not going to ask. And here's the real truth as to why. America isn't ready. Europe isn't ready. If this escalates, survival won't just mean avoiding the front lines. It'll mean enduring chaos here at home, economic collapse, civil unrest, supply chain failure. Because when the system breaks, and it will, war becomes local. And as a father, I will say this plainly. I will not let my sons die in a war built by the mistakes of men in suits. Not for NATO, not for global posturing, not for lies wrapped in flags. So you better start thinking now. Because if this continues, the question isn't if war is coming. It's how soon. Let me show you all this. It is starting. Y'all want to see something? Watch this. Put this on the side of it. You're seeing the mob in its earliest stages. Y'all really need to watch out for provoking spirits. These spirits are very smart, but they're weak and they prey on strong people. These type of spirits will bring you into fury and let you win the battle. Because winning the argument does not make them feel like they won. Getting you out your character and wasting your energy makes them feel like they won. Provoking spirits gets a high out of bringing people out of their character. They get a high out of making people act out of their emotions. You have to know how to identify one of these and control yourself when one of these are attacking you. Because you have to realize we are in spiritual warfare. Y'all gotta stop looking at things physically all the time. Because if you don't realize they are provoking things, so they'll get you to a point where you want to unalive them. And you know what? They still won. Because they got you to a point where you just threw your life away.
I want to show you a video at Bishop John Wick on Instagram. You can't see this video on YouTube as well. He does a podcast. He's going to talk about the bootleg. Pay attention.
The Orsini's, the Comodos, and the Carnices. Now, remember the painting of the Last Supper, Leonardo da Vinci. Now, we were told the fact that these men supposed
What's up, fellas? Boy, y'all wait until 2026 when all these laws kick in. The food nutrition supplement, known as food stamps, Section 8, the welfare. Y'all wait till all these bills kick in. They're no longer be able to get that damn tax credit if their child's over 7 years old. Boy, y'all wait, fellas. Y'all gonna get so many of them, hey, big head, hey, stranger danger. Oh, let's call to see what you were doing. Not a motherfucking thing. Just out here walking in and enjoying my motherfucking life. Going out and eating at the Cheesecake Factory and Applebee's and Chili's by my motherfucking self. Ladies, y'all lose all y'all sisters and y'all no longer these bad bees and y'all ain't got your houses and all that stuff no more. Don't come running back to the regular deaders type anyway.
She is a medical professional with insight and information that you're going to want to hear. Since the Affordable Care Act came out, we are now, as nurses, required to ask every single patient when they come to the hospital if you've had your flu vaccine or your pneumococcal vaccine. If you say no to either one of those, in the computer, an order will generate that says we need to give you this vaccine. You don't need to speak to a doctor. It's hospital policy. It's now health department policy that we now have to give you the vaccine. Even if you came to the hospital with a stub toe, you will be offered both vaccines if you meet requirements, which just about everybody meets requirements for a flu vaccine. And most people over the age of 65 will need the pneumococcal vaccine. Even if you come to the hospital with a stub toe, you are going to be given this vaccine. You have the right to say no. If you say no, they just check off as refused. This was never like this years ago. I think that I know that there are many people that are not aware of this. No. Then they're going to say, well, you need to sign this consent. If you're going to have vaccine, if you're going to have surgery, you need to sign consent. In the consent, there's a word called biogenics. If you sign the consent saying, I consent for you to give me biogenics, that basically means that they can give you anything that they deem necessary, including vaccines. So if you say you didn't get a flu shot, it's flu season, and you sign the consent that says, I agree to biogenics, they will give you a vaccine even when you're under anesthesia because you already signed the consent. So you might not even know you received the vaccine, right? Correct? Unless you go and get your medical records, you will not know that you got a flu vaccine. They may tell you at the end, oh, by the way, you're now covered, you have a flu vaccine, or you got the pneumococcal vaccine. Like, 2 people now have reported to me last week saying that they got the vaccine, they did not want the vaccine, they didn't know that word biogenics meant that they're going to get a vaccine because the vaccine falls under the title of biogenics. You can, when you sign consent for surgery, you can specifically say, no vaccines, I don't want this. You can write an initial after what you say you do not want, and they have to honor that. And if they don't honor it, they can be sued. Right, so we do need to be educated to protect ourselves. Right. So anytime you go to the hospital, yes, you should be aware of their policies. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you said it was biogenics. The word biogenics is now being used. In the past, it used to be a consent that basically said we can give you blood products if we feel you need it, we can give you other medications if you feel you need it. But now with the word biogenics, it's now including vaccines.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research.
When you get confronted with taking that chip, they're gonna threaten you with death. You said, you can kill me. I'm not taking that goddamn chip. Kill me. A lot of brothers in GMS, maybe not. If you're not true, you're gonna fold like a cheap camera. I say cheap suit. You're gonna fold like a cheap suit, and you're gonna take that chip. And your wife you might not want to take it, and you say, I ain't gonna take it, but your wife might get to you, and she might go ahead and take it behind your back with the kids, and then you're gonna bug out, and you're gonna wind up taking it. I mean, that's just a scenario. A lot of y'all bugged out with the C ragamuffin, man. Just certain brothers came to me, what are we gonna do? I said, well, they said, I'm gonna lose my job. I said, I wouldn't do it. Okay, so you do what you're gonna do. I wouldn't do it. There's no way in hell I'm gonna do that. One particular brother said they threatened him with taking his job. He said, no, I ain't taking it. Guess what? They didn't fire him. There was a guy that he knew that was IUIC that took it. And after he took it, he didn't feel right. And he went to the leadership at IUIC and they tried to console him. I don't know if this guy's still in the truth or whatever the case may be.
I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. You thought shit was sweet, motherfucker? Yeah. I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem.
Y'all know what time it is, man. Freestyle Friday. We got the reigning champ versus the challenger. Y'all touch mics and let's get it. I'm gonna open up the studio tonight, but first y'all gotta walk to Queens and get me some boiled fish burn from the Japanese spot. Crackhead strength activated.
Baby, come get some of this egg roll.
Oh, wow. Didn't see you there. Welcome to my cooking show. Today, I will be cooking your long titty, no nipple, having long back habit. I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem.
Copyright disclaimer under. Today marks a historic step forward in our national security. Let's go live to reporter Sarah Martinez at the registration center downtown.
More than 50,000 people have come here this morning to register. This is the future of secure identification, linking identity, healthcare, and payments in one verified system.
When the mark of the beast is introduced, countries will present it as a matter of national security. Every financial institution, from the banks, hospital, and even supermarkets, will state that it is a requirement that you have the mark.
I'm sorry, but without the mark, we can no longer provide you access.
Banks won't allow you to access any funds without it, and supermarkets won't allow you to purchase any goods without it.
You'll need to get registered before you can shop here, sir.
Hospitals won't treat any patient who hasn't been marked.
I'm sorry, ma'am, we can't proceed without your digital mark.
The mark of the beast won't be branded as evil. No, the mark will be incentivized. Early takers will be offered discounts and access to products and services. Then gradually, those benefits will be exclusive, only to be available for the marked. They'll call it modern convenience. You'll call it a small price to pay, until the day you can't eat without it. Can't travel.
Reminder, all riders must verify digital identity before boarding.
Can't breathe in society.
I'm sorry, sir, we can't proceed without verification.
Unless you bear the symbol. You see, when the mark of the beast is introduced, the Antichrist will make life without it so difficult that many will simply cave into the pressure. People will feel the pressure from society to conform.
James Carter, please follow me to room 4.
You will see a desperate longing in the faces of people who just want life to return to normal. They simply want to be able to buy and sell freely. They want to work, socialize, and cling to whatever freedom they once had. The price to pay for this? A simple mark on the forehead or on the right hand.
Today marks a historic step forward in our national security. Let's go live to reporter Sarah Martinez at the registration center downtown.
Today, what we're doing on chip on flash, where we're using an NFC microchip that should run a blue and scan it yourself. So stay tuned and see if that happens. Alright, so we're going to do things like something that's available. No, just let's go. Just take breath in. Big breath out. One more big breath in. And up. Breathe in, John. Here we go.
The next witness is Dr. Jordan Vaughn. Dr. Vaughn is a physician and clinical researcher in Birmingham, Alabama. As owner and CEO of MedHealth Clinics, Dr. Vaughn has directed his organization to the leading edge of early outpatient treatment of COVID-19 for his patients and greater Birmingham community. Dr. Vaughn has treated over 4,000 long COVID and COVID